Hello and welcome back to Popcorn Chat. I hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I'm going to be speaking to you about Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope. So the film follows OJ and Emerald, who are horse trainers for the movies, and they run their own sort of stable. However, due to the loss of their father, they have to try and keep that up and end up selling a lot of their horses on, and then weird things start to happen. This was a highly anticipated film of the year. I was curious to see what was going to happen in this one, and watching Jordan Peele's other films, I was curious to see where he was going to go with this sort of alien story. So before we go any further, I'm going to let you know that there will be some spoilers going ahead, so don't watch this video if you haven't seen it yet. What are you playing? So let's talk about some positives. So Jordan Peele got Christopher Nolan's right hand man in to be the DOP for this film, Hoyt van Hoytma, and he's in the likes of Ad Astra, Dunkirk, Her, some really sort of stunning visual films, and I was excited to see what he was going to do because I think he's a great DOP, and I think he really succeeded in this. I think given the sort of setting, though it's different to a lot of things that he has worked on, I think some of the shots in this film are beautiful and really give a sort of landscape of this environment that these two are living in, and sort of the very sort of remote, sort of isolated sort of valley that they are in, and helps to sort of add to the story. So not only are the visuals stunning, the sound design in this film is excellent. There's definitely those sort of booming bass noises as well as those sort of high frequencies that really sort of add to this sort of alien, atmosphere sort of happening to these characters. I think everything plays a role in it, and that sort of adds a little bit into that sort of, horror element that we know Peele for. Speaking of which, I think the scariest bit of this film, though it's not really a scary film, the little kids dressed as aliens in the stable were absolutely terrifying. I was sort of clenching my hand as they were sort of peeping round the side. No thank you, I was about to check out on that one. Though it's not a straight up horror, it definitely has those horror elements, from the sort of literal aliens. That sort of seems really sort of cleverly done. And there's blood running down the stairs of the house. I thought there was definitely some elements in there that showed his love of that horror that people obviously love and maybe anticipating this film, but you're not really going to get that as a whole theme and genre. There's definitely sprinklings of horror in this film, and when it's there, it's done good. For me, the standout performance in this film definitely comes from Keke Palmer. She is such a charismatic character on screen. I think she sort of draws you in. She cuts through those more tense scenes with her comedy. And she's badass. Like in that last scene with the motorbike. So fucking cool. Yeah, and her and her brother are very much sort of action heroes. The unsung heroes in the sort of film world, but action heroes in this film. I really liked the moody cinematographer. What was his name? Antlers Holst. He was really sort of true sort of telling of what I think cinematographers can be like in the industry. So I thought he played that role very, very well, and I liked his involvement. I wanted him to get into that story a little bit earlier. He came in quite late to the film, and that his involvement within this sort of character of the brother and sister, I wanted him to be there throughout, really. But when he was there, it was good. I thought Angel was a really sort of fun character, and added some comic relief as well in those more sort of dramatic moments. However, I thought he was going to have a little bit more of a pivotal role and sort of character arc in terms of, when I heard his name being mentioned, initially I thought, okay, that's going to have a pivotal role in this brother and sister story. However, it didn't really. There was a little part when he sort of covered himself in the sort of barbed wire. There was kind of some religious connotations there. But I thought he was going to be a bit more of this kind of saviour role or, sacrificial role. I was waiting to see, but it didn't really come to fruition. So let's talk about some negatives of the film. I think the main problem I have with this film is the fact how slow it is. I know it's a slow burn. I think that's done deliberately. However, I don't think it worked for me. I mean, a lot of people do love a slow burn. I don't mind that if I'm in the right mood and, you're prepared for that. But for me, I think the pacing was off for a lot of the time. A lot of the action didn't really kick in till like the last 45 minutes of the film, I would say. And it's, it's 2 hours 10. So I think the pacing is a big issue. For me, not for everyone. For me, it was a big issue. there was definitely some questionable VFX parts. There's a really specific moment where OJ goes to retrieve Lucky, and he is sort of chasing them through, and he sort of stands under this sort of wooden sort of seating, and he looks up, and okay, you're looking at the sky, so it swaps to kind of, you know, they'd have to key everything and, you know, frame by frame. But then I can see, you know, Daniel Kaluuya in the left corner, and he's still, like, he's not moving. Like, it swaps as though it was a picture, like it was a screen grab, and then they just, like, edited the sky. That was a very, very small detail. Whether that was done deliberately or if it was just a budget thing, I don't know. And then it cuts back into the video. But it really stood out for me. And this film is obviously referencing a lot about sort of the behind the scenes, the filmmakers, you know, the people that love doing what they do. And I don't know if it's deliberately bad or if it was an accident, I'm not sure. It just really stuck with me on that. And there's a few of the moments as well where it's a little bit budgeted, you know, in terms of those more sort of CGI sort of rendered elements within the film. I know this film was trying to exceed your expectations in terms of the alien or whatever this is, you know, that I sort of gathered from the trailer. I tried to go in very blind to this, which I think I did, minus seeing one trailer the other week before Bullet Train. I don't know, in exceeding your expectations of it being a spaceship and aliens will come down and whatever, and it being an actual animal of some sort and sort of being a hunter was different. I don't know. I don't know if I liked it. Maybe it just wasn't. Is it refreshing or not refreshing? I don't know. There was something about that didn't work for me, and I can't quite put it together in words besides the points that I've previously mentioned, but it just didn't work collectively for me. I really thought that Stephen Yeun's character was a very, very interesting part of this film, and I wanted to know more about him and his childhood and that sort of incident with Gordy. That was interesting. I feel like it wasn't fully developed. There's aspects in there, you know, with the shoe standing up. That was weird. There's obviously, you don't need to explain everything in a film, I get that, but that was the bit that I was most sort of connected to, I would say, and I would like to have seen him more, and I don't know, something a bit more conclusive, be it from his character arc or narratively. I think there needed to be something more about that character in this film. Generally, this film didn't work for me as a whole, as a complete package. Obviously, if you pick apart the elements, there's some great things going on there, like cinematography, some sound design, there's some good performances in there. But as a whole, I wasn't fully gripped. I wasn't sold on this film as much as I hoped I would be. I mean, put it this way, am I dying to rewatch this soon? No. I'm not going to go and see it in the cinema again. Might watch it on demand when it comes out, but I'm not eager to see it again. But at the same time, I've still been trying to put my thoughts together the last 24 hours because I'm not fully concluded on my thoughts. But right now, I'm not a fan. And that may change, but right now, it doesn't work for me. So for that reason, as of today, 24 hours later after seeing it and thinking about it, right now, in August 2022, Sarah is giving it 2.5 stars out of 5. Future Sarah may disagree, but right now, it's 2.5. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this is probably going to divide a lot of people in the comments. It seems to be dividing people all over the internet that have seen it. I know people are going to be, why don't you like it as much? You know, I loved it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me know your thoughts down below if you've seen it. I know we're very late to seeing it here in the UK, but hopefully a lot of people have seen it now. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to check those out, and maybe you'll just sway my actual opinion on this film. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon for another popcorn chat.